literally never got a trophy. I don't own a trophy. Someone give me a trophy. I'm needy. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Charlie, and if I could describe myself in one word, it'd probably be uncoordinated. And I think that this is one of the reasons I have a YouTube channel and not an athletic career. And I know what you're thinking. What does he mean he can't have a career in sports? Look at it. I know, it might be shocking. But even if I could have a career in sports, I have too many bad memories to associate with it. Trauma. I have trauma. I'm pathetic. This trauma stems from a variety of horrific incidents, which I am going to describe to you in great detail for your entertainment now. It all started around age 3 or 4. We moved into this lovely house and, well, being a small child, I wasn't exactly at the appropriate height to take it all in, to see it in its glory for what it was. And I learned that the hard way. It's all a bit fuzzy, but from my recollection, I was following in the footsteps of my brothers. Literally, they were walking in front of me and I was following them. Having little legs at the time, I couldn't quite keep up. So I started a slight jog. Then I went from a jog to, well, running. I started running. Being that age, I wasn't exactly at the required height to see the patterned diamond detailing, which would signify that there is an obstacle approaching. A solid obstacle. Yeah, I ran into a glass door. And whilst I came out of it unscarred, the glass door wasn't so lucky, gaining toddler-appropriate duct tape markings, saving generations to come from experiencing what I had to experience. You can thank me now. This is the face of a hero. A few years passed and I decided to give physical activity another go. This time in the form of lunchtime sport. You see, in primary school at lunchtime there would always be a game of football or soccer wherever you are in the world. Football and soccer are the same thing. Anyway, and this particular day in year 3, me, an outgoing 9-year-old, decided I would join in. A decision I would later regret. Now, even though I'm terrible at sport, I always give it my all. Because, I mean, if you're going to do something, then, do it right. Or at least try to do it right. Because then, if you're not going to do that, what's the point? You know? Now, all was going well. I was running for the ball. Someone else would get the ball. I would try and kick the ball. And then miss. But I was having fun. And at a certain point in the game, the ball went down the other side of the pitch. And I decided that this time, I wouldn't run. I would leave it up to my teammates because I trusted them and I knew that in this moment, they didn't need my help. However, before my team could score, someone else hit the ball and it was a really, really good kick. They really made that ball fly. And in that moment, I had an out-of-body experience because it was so fast in that air and the rapid force that it was falling to the ground was just amazing. And then everything went black, for the ball never made it to the ground. Instead, it positioned itself nicely on my face. Is he dead? He's bleeding. Someone get a teacher. Oh, did he break his jaw? Whilst unconscious, murmurs of my injury left me intrigued to what it possibly could be. Did I break my arm? Did I have a black eye? But with the taste of blood in my mouth and the feeling of a loose tooth, I concluded that I must have wedged my tooth in my lip. But no. I couldn't even be fortunate enough to be left with a courageous battle scar to be remembered by. Instead, I'll forever be that kid that got hit in the face with a football. And bled. Now for my final attempt at moving like an ordinary human being, I wasn't even with anyone. Yeah, I was alone. Now I don't know why, but on this particular day, I decided to go into my back garden. But clearly the solitude wasn't enough for me, so I decided to go back inside. A normal person would have no problem achieving this. They would walk inside, open the door, close the door, and then get back to their day-to-day life. However, I am not a normal person. You see, I began to walk, but clearly the thought of getting indoors again was far too exciting. So I had the motivation and inspiration to run. With one foot in front of the other, I lifted my arms high as I went. but clearly not high enough, because when I motioned my arm forward, it reached a hurdle. A hurdle which no one would see coming. A small but effective hurdle. A hurdle which would ultimately lead to the breaking of a bone. That hurdle was my pocket. You see, whilst the rest of my arm was moving at a rapid force, my pinky didn't want to cooperate and decided to get stuck in the fabric of my shorts. And as ridiculous as it sounds, it really hurt. Unsure of what to do in this crisis, I went to my mum. But due to the sheer surrealness of my story, she didn't believe me. Don't worry, after like an hour of me complaining that I was in pain, she realised something was up and took me to the doctor, and that's how I figured out that it was broken. So please don't attack her in the comments. Love you, Mum. And that's it. That's why I spend my time being creative and making YouTube videos instead of exercising and hurting myself. Literally, I'm a hazard to myself. In saying this, not all of my interactions with sport have been bad. My inability to hit a volleyball correctly cured a ganglion on my wrist, and I once came 12th in the cross country. Yeah. Never got a trophy though. So if you're good at sport and want to make a career out of it, by all means, go for it. Just don't ask me to play. For my own safety. Bye!